Hi, I'm Christian Bidner, Safety Product Manager for Gerrie Electric, and today I'm going to be presenting to you the 442G Multifunction Access Box. So what is a multifunction access box? Essentially, it is a solenoid locking switch with an RFID coded magnet integrated into a lock module and a handle assembly system. It is designed for door and gate guarding where full body access is the requirement. There are two basic versions, a standard non-networkable version that you see here on this current slide and an EthernetIP capable safety version that you'll see in the next slide. The standard version consists of a lock module which contains a solenoid locking unit and an RFID read head. The lock module also contains operational controls for machine access such as request to enter and reset and enunciation of status. The handle contains the bolt locking mechanism along with an RFID coded magnet actuator. It also has some lockout and tagout clasps and an optional escape release handle assembly. The standard version is a hardwired using either an M20 cable entry or a 19-pin M23 cable style connector. Here is the EthernetIP SIP Safety version. It contains the same functionality as the standard version, but removes the hardwired connection system and replaces it with an EthernetIP SIP Safety ports and M12 quick disconnect power connections. The Ethernet ports make wiring much easier due to the plug-in nature and takes much less time. Data from all the configured parameters, including safety, can then be reviewed and acted upon by the GuardLogix controller. EthernetIP connections are also great for long cable runs, simple plug-in connectivity versus trying to wire up to 24 conductors on a standard MAB module. Typical applications. Any perimeter or machine guarding applications or systems where access through a gate needs to be controlled into the hazardous area. Only when the process has come to a full stop and the hazard has been removed, then a signal is given to the MAB so that a gate can be opened. The dual technology of a solenoid locking and coded magnet systems allows the MAB to be used in Type 4 as per ISO 14119 applications and also meets CAT4 PLE SIL 3 as per ISO 13849 and EN 62061 for functional safety. Applications for MABs can be found in typical automotive and robotic assembly welding systems. Palletizers, material handling, and packaging equipment are also great applications for the MAB. In other words, anytime a machine or process has a long rundown time and access to the hazardous area needs to be controlled, the MAB is a great solution. So let's talk about some of the features of the MAB. First of all, it is ideally suited for full body access type of applications. It has an extremely high holding force of 2,000 newtons and due to its design has a wide misalignment tolerance. If the risk assessment determines that escape release is required, there is an option also for that. From an application perspective, it can be used in power to lock or power to release type of applications, and you have your choice of controls including an optional emergency stop. It can come in a left-hand or right-hand orientation and is ideally suited for sliding or hinge type doors. From a safety and security point of view, the device is rated for performance level E category 4 as per ISO 13849 and also contains contacts for door monitoring as well as lock monitoring. It meets ISO 14119 requirements as a Type 4 device and uses an RFID uniquely coded actuator, making defeat of the device very difficult. It also is very easy to operate, especially if you're using the SIP Safety version of the device that connects over Ethernet IP using a simple add-on profiles, makes programming in Studio 5000 a breeze. Here's a comparison of the installation and wiring of a standard discrete MAB switch versus a SIP Safety Ethernet IP connectable version of the MAB. On your left-hand side of the screen is the standard version of the MAB. Note that this device needs to be connected to some kind of I/O system. In this case, it is a point I/O. And in that cable that connects the point I/O to the MAB, there could be up to 24 conductors that need to be terminated. The point I/O takes the signals from the MAB, converts it into a SIP safety format, and communicates that information to the GuardLogix controller. As a comparison, on your right-hand side of the screen, you'll see an MAB switch using the SIP Safety Ethernet IP connection ports. Note that there are only 4 quick disconnect M12 connectors that need to be connected and powering up, showing an 83% saving in wiring capability. In order to program both the standard version of the MAB as well as the Ethernet IP version of the MAB, simply use Studio 5000 Logic Designer software. It is a single user-friendly software environment for programming, configuration, and maintenance. Using the add-on profile creates meaningful tag names for I/O diagnostics with the correct data types. After that, you can simply use the tags in the programming, making it very simple and convenient. Studio 5000 needs to be version 20 or later. The SIP Safety version of the MAB has a dual port embedded Ethernet switch which supports line, star, and device level ring topographies. A device level ring networks would help reduce the total cost of the machine design, development, and ownership using less wiring, reduced hardware, ease of use, and therefore reduced downtime of a machine. One important note: the MAB does not currently support time-sensitive applications such as SIP Sync, which would include SIP motions. The MAB should not be used in applications in device level ring topography where other nodes are using SIP Sync or SIP motion. If you are going to be using the MAB switch in line topographies where other nodes are using SIP Sync or SIP motion, the MAB must be connected at the end of the line. Future releases of the MAB should correct this issue. To further some information from previous slides, the MAB meets PLE Cat4 requirements under ISO 13849 and SIL 3 according to IEC 62061. The design of the MAB uses solid-state monitored outputs, meaning that even discrete systems can be wired in series while maintaining a high PLE rating. Short-circuit protection, overload protection, and cross-fault monitoring are also included with these outputs. Using RFID technology for sensing the door position, bolt position, and lock status enables the device to claim a high coding rating as per ISO 14119. This also means that no additional requirements are needed to prevent defeating. Safety functions include interlocking, guard locking, and guard lock monitoring. Control of guard locking using unlock requests are also included. Optional emergency stops can also be included in some selected models, and there's also a enabling switch input when you are selecting a SIP safety version of the MAB, making integration of enabling switch very easy. So how do I configure and order a MAB system? Simply go to Rockwell Automation website and download the Proposal Works tool. In Proposal Works, there is a configurator that will walk you through step by step on how to configure an MAB switch. It'll first of all ask you whether you want a left-hand or right-hand assembly. Next, it will ask you what type of lock module assembly that you're looking for. Do you want a standard version or a SIP Safety connectable version? What type of connectors would you want to use for that? Does your application require a power to lock or power to unlock version? And then also the number of control options, including the emergency stops. Next, select optional features. Do you require an escape release for full body access applications, including an extended staff? Do you also require mounting plates? Lastly, select any cables or enabling switches that you may require. Once you've completed those steps, a BOM is then created with all the part numbers in order to order the device or system correctly. If you have any questions about the configuration, wiring, or programming of the MAB switches, simply visit Gerrie Electric's safety website by clicking on the link, or going directly to the Rockwell Automation website by clicking on the above links in this slide. Thank you for viewing this video. I'm Christian Bidner, Safety Product Manager for Gerrie Electric. And if you have any questions or would like to discuss an application, please feel free to contact me at Gerrie Electric.